guys, the Super Review Show here for this review of the very late review of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yes, the poster right there. And I know it came out in 2015, but I just saw it last night. I'm going to put it in the 2015 movie reviews playlist. So, yes, I know that this is a totally late review. I totally understand. But I've been meaning to watch this movie for about 4 or 5 months now, ever since it left theaters. And I've been dying to see it. I saw it last night I rented it on demand, and I loved every bit of it. So here's the full spoilers review of The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which is the movie version of the TV series way back in the 60s. So, let's go down some cast running. Let's run down the cast. We start off with Henry Cavill as Napoleon Solo, who, as we all know, is the main star of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. in the TV show. Armie Hammer as Elia Kuryakin. And he plays the Russian character, Elia Kuryakin. He likes the American and the Russian side. So there you go. Alicia Vikander as Gabby Teller. Excuse me. She, I really liked her character. I'll get into her in a little bit. And as the bad guy, the villainous role, was Elizabeth Debicki. Or Debicki, something like that. I butcher names, I'm sorry. But she plays Victoria Victoria Vincijuara. Something like that. When she plays the villain of the movie, which I really enjoyed because it had a female villain, which I always thought would be a really great thing for any hero movie ever. So that is the cast rundown. And obviously there's other characters, like Hugh Grant plays a role, but he's a very tiny role. Anyways, so that is the cast of this film. Now let's run down what happens during the movie itself. Plot points, if you will. Spoilers ahead. If I already warned you once, but I'm going to warn you again. Spoilers ahead for The Man from U.N.C.L.E. So this movie takes place in the 1960s, right in the height of the Cold War. Cuban Missile Crisis was going on. Bay of Pigs. John F. Kennedy was still president of the United States. A lot of big things were going on in the world. We saw the Cuban Missile Crisis was going on. The U-2 plane incident. All this crazy stuff. And it was in the height of the Cold War. But that's the setting of it. Now let's get to the actual plot points of the movie. Solo, or Napoleon Solo, if you will, who is actually Henry Cavill's character right here. He is on a mission in West Germany. East Germany, which is the Soviet side. He's looking for a woman named Gabby Teller, who is the daughter of Udo Teller, a Nazi turned U.S. collaborator near the end of World War II. Her father was working on building a bomb, but it was like a really high-tech bomb that could annihilate an entire city, like Hiroshima times 2 or 3. So that's what he was working on. A little thing right there. I'm not gonna lie. I like the fact that they had a bomb in it. Like, how to put this? I like the fact that the bomb was not. It was like the atomic bomb times 2, which actually I find very interesting. That's for later on in the review. Sorry about my throat, guys. But while doing this extraction of Gabby, while he was trying to save her, Solo runs into Elia Kuryakin, who is the Armie Hammer character, who is the Soviet side of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. We'll get into that in a little bit. He works for the USSR. For those of you Beatles fans, I'm back in the USSR. Anyways. Later, Elia escapes. Well, actually, sorry, excuse me. There's a fight between Solo and Elia and Solo fight a little bit, and then Solo runs off, and then Elia runs off too. So Solo escapes running into that, and then he takes Gabby with him because she is the solution to this problem they've been having with the. They've been having a problem with the man, Udo. Yes, Udo Teller, her father. Anyways, so later Solo meets up with his boss after extracting Gabby, and basically the boss of Elia is there too. So the United States side of Solo's boss and Elia's boss have met, they've collaborated, and said that these two guys are the best in their countries. Let's have them team up and stop another threat that could pose a threat to both the United States and the Soviet Union. So essentially, the U.S. and Russia are teaming up to stop a threat that could threaten both of them. So there you go. That's the simplest way I could put it. It's more complex than that, but that's the simplest way I could put it. So at first they're like, we don't. First they get to know each other, like they know each other's background history and stuff like that, but they don't like the fact that they have to work together. Like the United States and Russia teaming up to stop something else. What is this, you know? But I gotta say, quick note: the chemistry that between Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer, the chemistry between these two guys right here, spectacular. Like the way the two interacted was so. Like I was actually thinking about, like, oh yeah, like Man from Uncle, Henry Cavill's and Armie Hammer. I wonder how these two are gonna play off each other. Played off perfectly. Like if you want to make a Man from Uncle 2, 3, 4, and 5, just keep these guys. Do not recast them because their chemistry was perfect together. Anyways, they don't like the fact that they work together. We already covered that. But actually, so later on they actually eventually track down Victoria, who is the bad guy in the movie, who has the bomb and the bomb that the United States and the Soviets want and are trying to stop. And eventually they do. With some interrogation techniques and also some other things, they actually track down Victoria. No, they're Victoria. They track down where the bomb is. They find out where Victoria is hiding it, and Victoria, excuse me, Victoria is on a fishing boat near a submarine. They're about to put the bomb on the submarine, and then send it underwater so they can't find it. But basically, they send a missile out. Like Solo's, this is a really cool scene. Solo's on the radio talking to her. He's like, "You realize that if this happens, you know," he's stalling them, and he launches a missile right at the fishing boat, and then it explodes. Like there's in the middle of the sea, you're like, "Oh wow!" It was awesome. That was one of the best parts of the movie. There's a lot of great moments in this movie too. Like the fact there was a great scene. I'm thinking about it right now, where Solo and Elia. They're right across from each other in the hall, and he's like, and he has all these Russian like tracking devices, like about 4 of them. He's like, "These are your countries," or like, "They belong to you," something like that. And then he's like, Eli's like, "1 minute." And his Armie Hammer's got a great Russian accent in this. He comes back out and he's like, "You should upgrade your tech." It was so funny. I'm not gonna, the comedic elements in this movie were perfect. The mix with the action and the spy-fi aspect of it was actually really cool. The way the two played off each other and the way the whole movie was set around that was perfect. But eventually they tracked it down and the bomb goes on, and that was a great scene overall. Elizabeth Debicki's character dies, sadly. But she was evil. Whatever. Excuse me. As the film was about to end, Solo and Elia are now friends, or at least friendly with each other, and than they were in the beginning of the film. Because actually, throughout the film, they started to develop more of a friendship towards each other than just, "I'm gonna kill you right now because you're being a total problem to me." Like instead of being like that, they were just like they were more of over the course of the film, they actually started to work together. They started to team up a little more, and they got themselves under control. Which I liked the character development of those characters. It was actually a lot of fun. Anyways, the last part of the plot points was that the film ends with Waverly, who actually is the Hugh Grant character, he works for the British. He works for the British, who knew about Solo and Elia working together the entire time, which I found very funny. He's like, "Hey, chaps, we knew about you the whole entire time." You know, it was hysterical. That was horrible British. I'm sorry, guys, but he was saying that the 3 of them, because like the scene ends with Solo, Gabby, and Elia standing drinking some whiskey, and he's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you 3 are now assigned to go investigate something that's going on in Istanbul under your new code name, Uncle." Then that's where the film ends. It was such a franchise setup, and I loved it. Like it left the door open for a sequel if they ever decide to make a sequel. Well, I mean, I'll get into that in about 30 seconds. But basically, look, that is the wrap of the plot points. Now I'm going to tell you why I think that I'm going to give my overall rating, and I'm going to tell you why I hope to see a sequel more than I think that they will do a sequel. So my overall rating. Okay, the fact that I didn't see this in theaters, but I saw it in a very dark environment in my living room. Not here, but actually downstairs. I saw it, and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 for The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I've been waiting for this movie. I told this story on my anticipation video of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I was in the theater watching Kingsman, and the trailer came up for this movie. And I was like, Dad, I gotta see this. I gotta see The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I didn't get to see it in theaters, but instead I got to see it on pay-per-view, and I was so happy that I did. So happy I got to do this review of it, and there you go. So that's the rating. The score I would give it 8.5 out of 10 on the Super Review Show here. Now let me get into really quick, and this will segue to the end of the video. Why I hope they'll do another one. Then I think they're going to do another one. Number one, I hope they. Two reasons. One, it's actually really the only reason why. Actually, two reasons. One is the box office. The box office. This movie did not do as well as they thought it would. Like they thought it'd be like a $200-300 million film. I believe it made $110 million worldwide off a $75 million budget. So you want to, with your budget that high plus marketing is like probably $25 million. So they basically didn't even break even. They like 25 cents. Yeah, they made like $10 million profit, which is not a good thing when you factor into marketing and such. $75 million plus the $25 million to market this thing. They didn't do a great job marketing it either. I mean, I saw one trailer and a few TV spots. That was it. Like nothing. Star Wars had more. I mean, obviously Star Wars had more. But I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Fantastic Four had more than like more. Actually, no, it didn't. It didn't at all. What's the movie that had great marketing? Dawn of the Planet of the Apes had phenomenal marketing, and the movie made a lot of money. But it's the smart marketing moves that bring in the cash. This is a great movie that should have deserved to do better. The second reason why I hope we get a sequel, but I don't think we will, even though they set it up to be a franchise, is that I said the box office, but I don't think there was a big enough appeal for it. Like you're focusing on, you're making a movie on a TV show that was in the 60s, like Batman was and Star Trek was, but and Green Hornet as well, and a few others. But basically, like you're basing it off a lesser known TV show. There wasn't that much of a quenching thirst. Like I need to see a Man from U.N.C.L.E. Like I think when they announced it and when they brought up some stuff at Comic-Con, the crowd went nuts for it. But that's just Comic-Con. That's not the whole planet. You had to. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That 5-minute trailer at Comic-Con was actually pretty good. But anyways, I think so. That's my two reasons. Number one is box office. And number two is the way the marketing was. I would love to see a Man from U.N.C.L.E. 2, mind you, but I don't know if I'm ever going to see that. So, I would love to see it. But otherwise, look. So, that will wrap it up for this review of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yes, I know it's 2016. I know it's like 4 or 5 months after the release of the movie. But I still wanted to do a review of it for you guys. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. And so, for the Super Review Show's Man from U.N.C.L.E. review, I'll see you later.